Hi there, welcome to Apple World. Meagan Good is going through it after her man, Jonathan Major, was seen as at legitimate fault for DV and putting his hands on his ex. And presently he is confronting close to 12 months in the slammer. Meagan has remained behind Jonathan 10 down, and she is currently left looking quite terrible and getting derided on the web. As per a source, she has been having a progression of breakdowns over this. Yet she's by all accounts not the only one having a breakdown, since everyone in Hollywood has been limiting any association with Jonathan since the decision. And the roads are currently saying that Jonathan is becoming penniless quick on the grounds that, in a real sense, everybody, and I mean everybody, has dropped him from their tasks. Things just went from 100 to 0 for Jonathan Major, since he has been viewed as at fault for harming his ex. Effortlessness Jabari Jonathan has been in the titles for the recent months after he was captured recently for purportedly putting his hands on Elegance and passing on her with injuries and a few wounds to her body. He was captured in spring of 2023, and the case has been a significant, hotly debated issue in the African American population, since Jonathan generally seemed like such an upstanding fellow, and no one at any point felt that he could follow through with something like that. I mean, he was tied in with spreading adoration and energy and everything, so the reports of him being supposedly associated with DV was simply stunning. He did the savvy thing by drawing up very quickly, yet his legal advisors didn't necessarily play it right, since she took a few actions that sort of neutralized him. For instance, she delivered this instant message that should defend himself, yet it just compounded the situation for him. In the message among Jonathan and Elegance, she said, "They guaranteed me that you won't be charged. They said they needed to capture you as a convention when they saw the wounds on me, and they realized we had a battle. I'm furious to such an extent that they did, and please accept my apologies. You're in this position. Will not get anything done about this. I let them know it was my shortcoming for attempting to get your telephone. I just barely escaped the emergency clinic." This made it seem as though she was faulting herself for him putting his hands on her. Yet Jonathan's legal advisor kept on talking for his benefit and denying the claims, and she said Jonathan Major is totally honest and is presumably the casualty of a squabble with a lady. He realizes we are rapidly assembling and giving proof to the lead prosecutor under the assumption that all charges will be dropped quickly. This proof incorporates video film from the vehicle where this episode occurred, observer declarations from the driver and other people who both saw and heard the episode, and above all, 2 composed proclamations from the lady retracting these claims. All the proof demonstrates that Mr. Major is completely blameless and didn't assail her at all. Tragically, this occurrence came about on the grounds that this lady was having a close-to-home emergency, for which she was taken to a medical clinic yesterday. The NYPD is expected to make a capture in these circumstances, and this is the main reason Mr. Major was captured. We anticipate that these charges should be dropped soon. Tragically, his public rep kept on failing hard, and he was getting dropped by nearly every individual who worked with him, including his ability. The board organization Wonder was the one in particular who didn't totally drop him, yet obviously they were thinking about it and were simply pausing for the decision. It was as of now that Jonathan chose to do PR to get individuals on his side, and that is the point at which he began dating entertainers. Meagan Good individuals could see directly through the ERS right away, and they quickly called it for what it was. Fans were not enthusiasts of this relationship, since they felt like Meagan was too great to ever be utilized as a PR stunt for an untidy circumstance like this. However, at that point, Meagan couldn't have cared less and was still up in the air, debilitated by her man. There were even bits of gossip sooner or later that she and Jonathan had covertly gotten hitched after he alluded to her as the MEF. "I'm only glad to be here, and furthermore, I love you all. So perhaps you need to say music anything. You all heard the missus, so that is the very thing it is." Meagan likewise upheld him during his court appearances, and they were frequently seen connected at the hip, going to court and coming all through court again. She got a ton of reaction for remaining with Jonathan, knowing the violations that he was blamed for, and individuals were coming for her left and right. The preliminary went on for quite some time, and there were high expectations that Jonathan would be viewed as not blameworthy. There was likewise a video that was delivered in court that showed Jonathan pursuing away from Elegance. They had a battle in the vehicle, however. Then again, there was this instant message that sort of implied that Jonathan put hands on Elegance. In the message he said, "And I dread you have no viewpoint of what could occur on the off chance that you go to the clinic." They will ask you inquiries, and as I don't naturally suspect you really safeguard us, it could prompt an examination regardless of whether you untruth and they suspect something elegance then answered, I will tell the specialist I knock my head assuming I go. I will give it another day, yet I can't. Rest and I want a few more grounded pain relievers, that is all how could I need to let them know what truly happened when it's reasonable. I need to be with you. I feel like you need to be together, as in no. To humiliate yourself for all that you've told your loved ones. Jonathan said the previous evening I considered taking myself out as opposed to getting back home. You said you wanted love the previous evening, and I set my sentiments to the side and attempted to tell you that I want love as well. Or perhaps I'm such a beast and terrible man that I don't merit it and should just be myself. This method of presence is hopeless. This strongly implied that he put his hands on effortlessness, so it was somewhat 50/50 that the proof could neutralize him while the decision was returned 2 or 3 days prior, and he was found liable on 2 of the 4 charges that he was confronting. The Manhattan lead prosecutor likewise put out an announcement, saying the proof introduced all through this preliminary showing a pattern of mental and psychological mistreatment and raising examples of intimidation quite commonplace across the many cozy accomplice viciousness cases we see. Furthermore, consistently today, a jury confirmed that example of misuse and pressure finished with Mr. Mage's assing and bothering his better half. The conviction exacerbated things for Jonathan, since he is very nearly losing all that he has worked for. Before the preliminary, he was removed off by various brands, as indicated by assortment, since his capture mages have been dropped by his ability director diversion 360 and his exposure firm, the lead organization he's not generally engaged with. The Hero Pictures movie The Man in My Cellar, the U.S. Armed Forces likewise pulled a significant promotion crusade highlighting majors, as did the Texas Officers Ball Club. A few different tasks, including Matt Joris, including Spike Lee's The Student for Amazon and the Dennis Rodman film 48 Hours in Vegas for Lionsgate. Staying in an in-between state, a couple of hours after he was found blameworthy, Wonder chose to drop him from his job as Kang the Vanquisher. This must be the greatest misfortune for him, on the grounds that Kang is his greatest job to date. For the people who don't have the foggiest idea, Kang has been put in a position to be the following huge miscreant in the MCU, and Jonathan was set to bring in a load of cash from it, as per reports. Wonder Studios has headed out in different directions from Jonathan Majors, the entertainer cast to play Kang, the focal point antagonist in the multiverse adventure of the Wonder realistic universe, after he was sentenced on December 18th for 2 wrongdoing counts of badgering and attack of effortlessness. Jabari's ex in the MCU isn't the main one to have been released. Jonathan, in light of the fact that the greater part of his different ventures have either been totally closed down or are forthcoming, yet from the vibes of it, there is an exceptionally high possibility that he will be released from those tasks too. And incidentally, Jonathan isn't the one in particular who has lost something here, in light of the fact that Meagan is likewise a casualty, as per sources. Jonathan being viewed as at legitimate fault for DV ponders severely her, since she is presently known as the one who remained by a guilty party and upheld him in addition. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.